Every day I wake up around 5:30. Early bird get the worm, so I'm up with the birdies. Over 30, still shooting like Steph Curry. I got it for the 56, so you better hurry. Still riding dirty like I just turned 30. I'm just trying to spread this cheese around like Papa Murphy. I done put niggas on that came back to hurt me, but you ain't put your brother on Eddie Murphy. I done trust homies and they did me dirty. I done love bitches and they cheated on me. Type of shit you wouldn't have known if you didn't know me. I got secrets that I can't even tell my homies. Got a few secrets that I keep between my brothers. And when I say brothers, I'm talking same mother, same father, all grew up in one house. Am I my brother's keeper? Without a doubt. I remember that day I saw my first gram, and all them days that I saved to make my first band. I had that off-white tan like beach sand. Now I got fiends that look like Lindsay Lohan. Since my first B-day, I've been bout $1. Served a white fiend that looked like he was on $1. I done seen a clean chick use a dirty dollar. Serve rich dough fiends that roll up $100.
Why I'm doing this? Matter of fact, why don't you ask the why I'm doing this shit? Yeah, the book. You know what I'm saying? The book is like folks, man. Them people, man. Nigga tripping, man.
I've been on one, plus 23. Lately been feeling like KOBE. I'm in the trap, trying to whip a 3-peat. Little homie just called me for a 3-piece. He looking for the bean when he wore number 8. Man, I got some beans that I'm still scared to take. I'm still in the hood, daily risks that I take. I still think about them bands that I could've made. But I don't trip though. Think about it cause it's motivational. Still think about them days I had no place to go. Mine's a hell of a thing to waste, but I didn't waste it though. Yeah, I had to step back just to step forward. All good things in, man, that shit's normal. Had to cut the bitch off, she was too boring. Steering wheel on the left, but my shit's foreign. Yeah. I need my house up on the hill like my name Lauren. Yeah. Blue and raspberry got my skin portion.
What you niggas talking about? Those books. What? You fuck with them? I don't fuck with them. Hell no, I don't fuck with them, man. I wanna burn that shit down, man. It's all. They don't even accept food stamps. Damn.
I'm just trying to make these ends meet. Fuck trying to rekindle all that friends be. I know niggas that got mad cause they unfriend me. I had homies turn on me and they met through me. I got people ducking me and I fronted them. And a few hating me when I got love for them. They gon' sink or swim. I ain't seen them in some years, why would I link with them? I heard them niggas R&B, why would I be with them singing? All I need is a beat and I'ma do what I do. Y'all do what you can, I do what I want to. I can tell you don't want beef, y'all vegan lunch food. If I blitz and hut 1, you're all sides and hut 2. Glock split the hot 2. Nigga got that kill tech, but I keep a Glock 2. Got ladies in stocks too. You better duck when I shoot. And if they ride with you, go be in a live with you.
Yo. What it do, player? What it do? Welcome back. Welcome back. We got to get it in, y'all. What's up, man? Hey, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that button. That magazine's out. Go ahead and shoot me a text. Smash that like button. Go ahead and shoot me that text if you're trying to order that magazine. It's Saturday. I could probably get up in there real early. Let me see. Let me look at some of these questions. Let me start some of these questions. He said, run that bike in my. Hey, y'all crazy, man. Salute the men, all the brothers in the building. Melee, Lot Boy, Big Saul, Prophet. Salute everybody in the building. Heart and Finish Kennels. Musician in the building. What up? What's going on, y'all? Hey, you know, I had to sneak up. More Keith. What's going on? I had to sneak up. William Torres, what up, man? Bloodthirst, Sticky Foster. Salute my brothers. You know, we got to get it in, man. Either way. You know, build it from the ground up, inside out. You know. That way, when you build it, you're feeling good about it. It's something that you're feeling good about. You know, you put in all that work and then you see the fruits of your labor. You know, my mom used to work in the yard. She had one of the best yards, like damn near a square mile. You know, when we lived in the CD and shit. Rhododendrons and you know what I'm saying, all kind of plants. You know, I help her plant them and you know all of this stuff. She used to go through there and weed out all the time, planting bulbs and shit, tulips, all kind of shit that grows over time and comes back year after year. And I used to ask her, like, why are you always in the yard? Why are you always working in the yard? You know, because I'm getting up out of there. You know, I'm getting a little older. And she was like, I put in this hard work right now in the yard. So in the summertime, I could just kick back and, you know, all her flowers and, you know, everything that she likes, you know, the nature, you know, that's one of the things I remember. So, I mean, I apply that to life, you know. You put in those hard hours, you put in that hard work, you know. You're not keeping score. This isn't something that I'm trying to do because I want to keep score. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to find out who's working harder and who's doing what. I'm just putting mine in. I'm making sure that at the end of every day, I'm exhausted, right? So when I get to that comfortable space, all I got to do is just sit back and relax. You know, I don't have to run around and chase and hustle and you know, break your back. You don't have to do that no more. It's called reaping the benefits of your labor. You know, as men, we should all be doing that. Like right now, if you in your prime, I say 15 to 65. Okay, that's a 50-year span. You know, you should be doing some shit, bro, in between there, because everybody ain't gonna retire at motherfucking 60 and 50 and 40. Everybody ain't gonna retire at them ages. Most of us done had to start over multiple times. Right? Salute. Wake and bake. Hey, drop them questions at the bottom. Drop them questions. I'm gonna run through. It's a Q&A. Buckcity Reloaded. APBT Magazine. We getting it in. If you support the stream, even if you don't like us, you know, it's all good. We've been getting on people's heads over here. You know, so there's going to be a lot of people it's going to rub them the wrong way. But when they see the resilience, when they look up and those guys are still there, you know, that motherfucker, you know, he didn't waffle. And all he was trying to do was just put the dogs in a positive light. That's all. That was his only mission. I didn't have dreams and aspirations of destroying guys' programs. I also did never dreamed of being a sucker or a rat. I don't want those type of people around. You a rat, you with me, some shit crack off, you tell, they think I told because you told. I just ain't going through that. I just ain't going through that, y'all. You know, is it bad for me not to want to go through that? You know? Okay. Appreciate you, Swamper. I'm starring them now. All the questions. Let's see. Let me get up in here. You guys got a couple good ones you want to ask. You know, this is a chance to so I could deep dive. You know, this is your chance. You want to get a real honest answer? I don't give a fuck what it is. Now, I might elect not to answer it, but shit, it's worth a try. Ask any fucking question. I'm gonna do the first 10. That's it. Let's see. Let's get it in. Hit that like button. Jesse Adams, what up, brother? He said it's hot right now. Hey. Yeah, I've been seeing that temperature, man. It been fluctuating. Been doing this thing. Man, everybody in the building. I'm just flipping through these real quick. Yeah. Hey, dog, thief, and snitch, keep them away, man. Yes. You know, keep them away. And it's not because you want to do something illegal. It's simply because you just don't want to be caught up in that. You know, all of that. That's a whole nother life. I'm telling you. You know, if you don't have that in your life, the headache of that, don't do it, man. Yeah, hey, you know, I think it's good for the breed, but a lot of people could do shit for the breed besides one or two channels beefing. You know, we gotta, you know, I hear you. I hear you, man. You know, it's definitely good for the breed if we don't beef and, you know, all of this shit. But, you know, look, it's always been in it. It's like, you know, it's always been a part of it, right? Just like the dog thieves, you know, I mean, we could have a whole segment just on dog thieves, you know. Now, I appreciate it, Mr. Nichols. But you know, me personally, you know, I think we got bigger fish to fry, man. We got to get in them courtrooms. We gotta show our support, you know. If there's a dog man trying to get taken down because they're fucking trying to say that he's breeding these dogs for the purpose of this and that, you know, like we need to be standing beside each other, man. Just like them tree huggers do us. All right. Now this YouTube thing, it's a grift. We can only take it so serious. There's only a handful of real channels that are real, you know, real stand-up guys. The rest of them are just pretty much novice guys that's just getting on their channel asking a whole bunch of questions and shit, like ain't answering no motherfucking questions about no bloodlines and whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand you want to document your journey. This is YouTube. And so that's when we gotta, like me, I just can't get too frustrated because it's like shit. This is a playground. We in their arena. This YouTube and these squares being empowered, being able to get their voice out there, and all of this been going on, just like the nerd that get picked on every day. When YouTube came around, that nerd had a voice now. Hey, nah, hey, straight up, brother. You know what I'm saying? I hope that worked out for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you never know, man. People go into dark times when they get these dolls. You've been building something your whole fucking life for 10 years. And all of a sudden you get to a good point to where you feel like you got good stock and everything's going in your favor. And then boom, out of nowhere, you just get stripped. So, and not only stripped, but they try to press charges on you too. Like the whole thing was about, the dogs, but they're gonna try to press charges on you too, man. Um, and you could go to a dark space, man. I think we don't talk about mental health enough on these channels and some of the things that we go through. When you got dudes laughing at you and making a mockery out of your videos, and we don't really understand. Of course, some people don't give a fuck. It's like that man and his family and all of this extra shit, what I'm saying, gotta see this shit, that you put up. See, my people, I come from a different cloth to where I don't give a fuck what you say about me. I mean, if you guys didn't already know, or you guys ever like feel bad about, like that, you can't say or do more than what motherfuckers already tried to destroy me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, like you can't do more. You got to go buy a whole news station and a radio station. One of the biggest radio stations tried to slander me. We're gonna be addressing that. We're gonna be addressing that. You know, get your magazine. Get your magazine. We got a lot of good stuff in there, and this is just the beginning. We're putting the roots in the ground. Of course, you need at least, even if I was gonna draw a picture of a tree, I would at least put like 5 roots in the ground. So right now, this is volume 2. We're just putting roots in the ground. That's all we're doing. That's what it's gonna be. We're gonna keep growing. And that's how we're gonna get it. Let me get to some of these questions. Let me get some of these questions, man. I hope you guys rolled up. Hope everybody's rolled up. Weak ass niggas in the booth, they a liar. I don't give a fuck. I never smoke bam, I smoke fire. Because I'm never gonna fucking retire. Every time I smoke that weed, nigga, I get higher and higher. Hey, Prophet. Prophet. Macho Buck or Mayday or both? Macho Buck is Mayday's grandson. You know, and it goes to show for the interchangeability of the bloodlines. And you know, how you could have a grandkid, a great grandkid, you know what I'm saying, and that you could keep going. You could keep going. Since we're talking about Mayday, let me just stunt a little bit. You know, Macho Buck or Mayday are both. You know, I definitely got a stunt. You know, we talk about Mayday, but there's little Mayday. You know, I mean, it's the closest fucking version that I could try to put together. You know what I'm saying? You know, his pedigree's loaded. It's just like a Southern Kennels museum. You know, if you look at those dogs, and I always say, I'm like, if there was if Southern Kennels still had dogs, I think they got somebody that got some dogs. And I seen some of them, a couple pedigrees I seen, but I'm not sure if it's Mr. Acart. But you know, you know, these dogs will be, this dog right here will be what you would get from Southern Kennels today, you know, 2025. You know, that's little Mayday. That's him right there. You know, 75-pounder. Big motherfucker. You know, he'll be in the 60s, just like Mayday was. You know, walk around 75 pounds, 70 pounds. You know, of course, you know, we like to keep them big. You know. But yeah, Macho Buck or Mayday are both, you know, I think they work hand in hand. I'm not gonna just jump off into the Macho Buck shit. And not, of course, you got Mayday in there, but you know, I definitely could do Mayday without the Macho Buck, although, you know, dogs that got Macho Buck in there, you know, like this dog has Macho Buck back there. He's got the Alpo dog. I believe he's a great grandson of Alpo. He's a grandson of Michael Myers, great grandson of Alpo. And he's directly off of the Snakehorn Jocko dog, which is the Barrett, you know, the Barrett blood, you know, all of that stuff. That, you know, Hicks, Barrett, there's a couple other ones that was preserving those dogs really well. And so he's loaded in there, you know, with the Tampa dog, you know, all of those dogs. And you able to get a good product. His dad was a real big dog, so he's not even stretching it to try to be you know, the size. You know, he's not hurting for no size. I'm gonna run with both, man. Although if I was gonna build on a certain dog, it wouldn't be Macho Buck. I'm gonna have him in there. He's a good, you know, he's gonna bring a lot to the table, structure, beauty, you know, those buck dogs. When you add that buck in there, those dogs get real pretty. And things like that. But I'm not gonna just have a heavy Macho Buck dog, you know, like I would have a heavy Mayday dog. Like this dog, he's not heavy Macho Buck at all. You know, he's got a little Little pinch of Macho Buck in there, you know, and we just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? But he's got a bunch of Mayday, top and bottom, even behind the Macho Buck, you know, Mayday. You know, he might be, I haven't looked at his pad, analyzed it, but, you know, he might be fucking 10, 12 times Mayday. You know, maybe I'll look at that. Especially you add the Dragon Lady in there too, from the Michael Myers blood. You know, he might be 10, 12 times Mayday, easy, maybe 15 times Mayday, you know. So you can do that. You can breed off of a dog that has that type of track record of producing good dogs. You feel me? So nah, man, that's a good ass question, man. I'm gonna leave that up there though, because I like to stunt. You know, I say both. If you're gonna do these dogs, I would have the Mayday dogs crossed up with the Macho Buck dogs. Let me see. Dog allergies. Dog allergy, you know what I'm saying? Always Benadryl, man. Benadryl or like a Claritin or something. You know, if the dog's having an allergic reaction, you know, I would use that. You know, they might get a spider bite, swell up. You know, that's the allergy, you know, allergic reaction. You know, because you know the antihistamines, you know, you don't need antibiotics, you know, you need antihistamines for that. So Claritin, well, none of this shit, man. Take them to the vet. You know, take the motherfucker to the vet. But you know, a million years ago, you know, give him a fucking Claritin. You know, get that motherfucker some Benadryl or something, you know, and see, you know, watch it and, you know, whatever, you know, you got to drain it. You know, some of them get real big, you know, bubbles on them, you know, from a big spider bite. You know, they whole jaw might swell up or, you know, you don't know what it is, you know, and people try to treat it with antibiotics. A lot of times that's not the way to go, man. That, you know, you don't really see no improvement like that. You know, you need to do it like that. Also allergies. I was just talking to a partner yesterday, and we were talking about, you know, allergy, you know, and yeah, the feed, you know, the chicken in the feed. A lot of dogs, especially when we're doing a lot of inbreeding, and you know, we're getting down to the nitty gritty, and people don't want to go outside of their yards. You know, that's fine, but make sure that, you know, you switch up that food, maybe. You know, maybe that food. Maybe you got dogs that's bougie. You know, they bougie as hell. They got to eat a certain food or something. You know, in that way, right? You know, let me see. Mr. Nichols said, dog allergy, apple cider vinegar. Spray whole yard, white vinegar, mix water and baking soda, flip your soil, and rototill. Yeah, nah, that's for sure. That's for sure, man. That is for sure. Hold up. We got some very important for the win with the super chat. Hey, I appreciate you, Prophet. Appreciate you, my brother.
I never knew that I would do numbers like this. I make a move. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose.
Yes, sir. Hey, appreciate you, my brother. My brother with the super chat. Hey, it's another one. Oh, just for the hell of it, the $10 holler, just for the hell of it. Hey, we need it, man. Hey, what we gonna get? We're gonna get some candles for the studio, man. Appreciate you, my brother.
I never knew that I would do numbers like this. I
Appreciate you, my brother. Hey, roll up. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Okay. Yes, sir. Let me see. Can you breed a dog at 2 months? Oh my goodness. You know, all that young breeding, man, that
Fatality.
that was, I think, 2 or 3 fatalities.
Fatality. Fatality.
Those dudes failed. But yeah, all this talk about these young dogs, and you know, the moral of the story is, you guys, make sure you do it the right way. You know, you're not in a hurry to do anything, man. You need to experience some of these dogs. You need to be able to see these dogs with your own eyes. You know, if you wasn't around when Mayday was around, and you wasn't around when Frisco was around, and you know, you gotta try to go after what you're around. You're gonna have a better the better way with the dogs if you see the dogs and kind of structure your whole opinion around the dogs that you can see versus a dog in the book. I met a lot of dog men, and some of them were more like hands-on guys that never really fucked with the books. And then there was some guys that just fuck with the books too much. Does that make sense? Right. So you can put 2 and 2 together. Don't focus so much off of the history, because they all have history. All these dogs have history. Focus on the genetic makeup and then build a yard from there. You know, there's no way that anybody should be breeding a dog, you know, that early before it's a year old and stuff. You know, I mean, you know, if it happens once, like I said, the dog and the DNA is not going to change based on the dog's age. And you know, a dog can be like a vessel, so you can be sure that that's going to work. You know, you can be damn sure that it's going to work. But the rush isn't always there. And then when you do it multiple times to where you got multiple generations of breeding children, breeding kids, right? That can't be a good thing, you know. So we joke about it, but in all reality, it just shows the laziness and the fact that, you know, somebody will pull the switcheroo on you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really can't get down. I can't trust somebody like that, you know. I like people that keep shit up forward. Like, you know how old these dogs are. Little Mayday, he's 4 years old. He was 4 years old before he ever got bred. He was 4 years old before he ever got bred. His first puppies they're maybe 3 months old. Nino got one. Nino be in the chat. Salute to Nino. You know, a few other cats got one. They did the Old Family Red Nose, Old Family, Michael Myers cross with Little Mayday. You know, making some more good, thick, durable, good, thick puppies. Beautiful, beautiful dogs, beautiful structures. That's gonna be in dog shows. You know, running around taking the trophies. you know. So little Mayday, he's on the prowl. He's looking for bitches to mount up on. That's of quality. You know, it doesn't have to be Mayday. You know, I would prefer it be something else with some bring something else to the table because this is Mayday already, right? This is the beautiful Mayday. So no, you can't breed a dog at 2 months, sir. I'm sorry. uh he said, speak on breeding during female pregnancy. Speak on breeding during female pregnancy. What you mean, bruh? What you mean? I'll start. Nigel, what up, brother? Yeah. Yeah, man. He said, what's the criteria at the dog show for the dog to win first place confirmation? Man, the criteria, for one, you want to walk him in there. You want him to be confident. You're like, this got to be a dog, in my opinion. Some people could just take him straight off the chain and win shit. So I don't want to say that. But me personally, when I was getting ready for a show, because I brought my sons and they were doing a little junior handler thing. So I noticed, man, I know it was probably gonna be a task to try to get the dogs to kind of do right and not be wild and be all over the fucking place. You know what I'm saying? It just takes a little bit of training. I took them to a park. I was living in the city at the time. I took them to the park and showed them how to walk the little L and taught them, the distance, not to have the dog within a certain distance of nobody. Always be aware of your surroundings and things like that. But just basically let the dog walk out. Because when he tells you to walk in and you're gonna go get in your spot, he's looking at the dog. So you want to make sure that the dog is in between you and the judge and not the other way around. You don't want to be in between the dog and the judge to where you're blocking them. So I would walk him good. He's gonna have to be conditioned based on like little Mayday. He wouldn't win. He's hog fat in that picture. You're gonna have to shred some pounds off and sculpt out, get some nice little muscle tone, and you'd be surprised what your judge likes. Some judges like really obedient dogs that just kind of sit there with their, with the cut ears, just standing there and shit, perfect. And you can teach your dog how to do that type of stuff. And some people really like, like dogs that are really aggressive. Like you'll get a judge the very next day. There'll be a show on Saturday, a show on Sunday. And the very next day, you get a judge that he picked all the aggressive motherfuckers. So, it's just you got to bring your dog in there good. It says on the sheet, you got to have the nails clipped. Your dog's coat has to be shiny, it has to look clean. Your dog has to look clean. It's a show. And I would be able to show them, so you could see the angulation on the dog and the dog's actual stance, and so he's not just going ape shit. If he can stand straight for a little bit, I think that will help you out a lot too, with the confirmation showing. You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Hey, Get it in, man. Cannabis Cowboys. What up, brother? Yep, you got to do your thing, man. Get your dogs, get in your lane. We come here for entertainment. That's it. And we're going to give you a lot of jewels and things like that. Yeah, it's going to spew out. I don't feel like I should have to keep these disputes and shit behind closed doors. And, you know, I shouldn't have to do that. You know, people come to my podcast with this shit and involve my podcast in shit. So we're a news media outlet as well. And, we're just one that claps back. You know, we clap back. You know, he said we lost dogs. Yeah, bred for 30 years, man. That's sad, man. It's sad, but we got to get aware and we got to be on point. You know. Yeah, the tail tuck. They don't want that tail tuck. Like you're probably not gonna win unless he's chiseled the fuck up. You know, they're not really gonna. You know, if you know, because sometimes, like you'll see, man, going to those shows, it really opens up your eyes because you really see dudes that, like, you look at them, and be like, man, that motherfucker, he takes this shit serious. You know, they come in chiseled up. You can see every muscle in their body. You know, like dogs becoming chiseled up, brother. You know, and then you might have a dog on your yard. He looks good. You know, you ain't took him to no shows. You know, he's perfect. He ain't even trying. He's not even trying. So then you put a little bit of work in. You know, that dog's gonna be right. I always looked for the ones that already kind of look ready, kind of. You know, like if I'm going to pick, I got a month, or even if I got 2 weeks, it's like, fuck, let me get him right. Because I could get him right for a show in 2 weeks, bruh. You know, just depending on how the dog looks. And, you know, I'm relying on genetics too. You know, I'm not just relying on, I got to build this dog to be something that he's already not. You know, the dog already got muscle tone. This dog already look good. You know, we're going to switch the food up, clean him out real good, and clean him up, you know, bathe him a few times. You know, I want to bathe him right away so I can give him, you know, 3 or 4 baths with the good shit, not stripping the you know, all the minerals up out of his coat, you know, so that he's right. Get those nails cut right away so I can cut them the day before. You know what I'm saying? I have a little bit to cut a day before the show. Polish them up, clean them up. Come on, man. We ready for the show. So it's a lot, man. What up, Cosmon? What up? What up, my brothers? Man, we get it in. We get it in, man, always. Yeah, Lawless Links was nice. Yeah, now I was in Lawless Links a long time ago. My Northwest Bulldogging, that NWB, that shit was on Lawless Links. You know, I was just a kid. You know, I had some dogs. Let me see. Oh yeah, friends in Mexico, Mexico City that bred Black and Victo that Mayday stuff. Barracuda. They work good for them. Yeah. Now that's good blood. That blood's going real good. You crossing that in there. You know, you already got the Dolly from Mayday. Barracuda took you more on the Red Boy Jocko side, so they lost a little bit of the Patrick blood. And take the Black and Victo, putting it right back in there. You got the T-Bone Club stuff. It's bred totally different. I like those dogs, man. because I was real biased. There was a lot of those Invicto dogs that I just didn't like, but basically being forced to have them around you, of course you got to go through them, and the Black Invicto stuff was really nice with the T-Bone Club, the Club T-Bone. Yes, sir. Hold up, man. Hold up, man. See, Prophet, man. Hey, we got to get it in, man. Hey. Hey, man, look. CC needs a let me see what this little dude. This little guy, man, what does he need, man? I don't know what the fuck he need, but appreciate you, Unc.
I never knew that I would do numbers like this. I make a move. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose. I'm tryna win. Ain't tryna lose.
Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you, my brother. Did Lot Boy ever get that? Hold up, man. Let me see something. Make sure you guys get that magazine. Text that number. I'll give you all the info. I'm gonna get to the post office today. I gotta drop some stuff off. One of my guys, I got some paperwork I gotta send him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, what it do, man?
Yo, 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 yo.
What was that question
What's
on
going
there?
on, family? Nah, man, I'm trying to ask you, like, you know what I'm saying? What's your process with the female from the 1 to 9 weeks or 1 to 8 weeks process? Like, what's your process with them? You know,
A
like what
pregnant
measurements you
bitch.
take? Yeah, if you expecting that she pregnant, you know what I'm saying?
Shit, man. I
What's your
would
process with it? Like, do you still walk on the rucker a little bit, you know, or you just put all the way up? Or like, you know, how you do it? Like, what's your process?
shit. If I bred her, I ain't got no work routines scheduled. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just ain't got no workout routine scheduled for a pregnant bitch or a bitch I just bred. So I'm gonna be wanting to keep her calm. I think that's a good thing. When you're dealing with a bitch, and you, especially if she's an aggressive bitch, you want to kind of get her on the calm side, and this is the pampering side. How people say, "Oh, I don't want to touch her," and all this shit. This is
Yeah.
that bonding time right now that is gonna get you a little bit closer to the puppy. So now I will be doing a lot of that, and pretty much feed first month. I wouldn't really do too much different with the feed. Of course, she'll be on puppy food though. You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, Prenatals are good. The prenatal vitamins. I even be having like old
She hate
A to
them
Z.
bitches, bro. She be spitting the bitches out. I
You
gotta
said what?
take a cup of them. I said she hate them bitches. She be spitting them bitches out.
Oh, the prenatal.
Uh-huh. But I got her to eat a cup of them through the little beef heart and stuff. When I stuck it in there, she ate it a couple times. Other than that, but she was trying to duck that motherfucker.
Yeah, no, you got to crush that shit up. You got to crush it up. You know,
Hmm.
you could even
Yeah.
crush it, like really crush that motherfucker up and put it like in a little ground beef ball. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Yeah,
little
yeah, that's how
ground
I
beef
get her.
ball.
Uh-huh.
It's a little small ball with that in there, just a little bit, you know. It, but you know, all of that's cool. You know, you don't want to do too much. You don't want the bitch to
Yeah.
get too fat. You want her to be stomach, but not fat. And you definitely want to walk her, you know, her regular little routine, maybe a mile, you know, 3 times a week, a good mile. You know, it doesn't have to be extreme, but you know, 6 blocks that way. They say 12 city blocks. Well, up here, like 12 city blocks is a mile, you know. So
Yeah.
6 blocks down, 6 blocks back. You know, that ain't shit, right?
Nah, that ain't
Um,
shit.
and just to keep her good, because you want her to be pretty nimble, you know, agile.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
she's having puppies and having to step over them and maneuver, and you know, she might step on one of them and want to double double take, you know, not crush them, you know. But if she ain't got the strength and the ability and the agility to do that, then you know that's how you get smashed puppies. Um, you
And
get
shit like that.
leads to stuff like that.
Hmm.
But as far as upping her feed, of course, you know, you're gonna up it, but I would just gradually just watch her and then just gradually up it. I wouldn't just do nothing crazy other than
Yeah.
figure out a way to get those multivitamins in there. Also, if you crush it up and then you sprinkle it on top of that dine,
Hmm.
cause they love that dine. There's no way they're not eating that goddamn dine, you know. Sprinkle a little bit on top of
Yeah.
a glop of dine and just kind of turn it over a little bit so that it's in there. They're gonna lick that shit up, you know.
Hmm.
So just skinning the cat like that, you ain't ever got to go buy shit. Like I said, I got multivitamins in my cabinet right now. They expired and shit. You know, you can get them motherfuckers that allegedly. I'm just joking.
Yeah.
I'm just joking. Tree huggers, you know, they're gonna be like, this guy.
It's out of date. What are you
He,
doing?
he said, if it's not getting that,
Yeah.
I'm lying, y'all. But you know what I'm
It's
saying,
out of
man.
date.
That shit, there
I
ain't
know
nothing
exactly
wrong,
what you're saying, man.
man. But I'm lying. Don't give it to your dog, man. Just take it for what it is, man. You know, go spend the go spend the money and waste it because he ain't gonna be able to absorb all that shit anyway. He's only gonna be absorbing a little amount of it, you know, you know,
Hmm.
and crushing it up is gonna help him absorb it even more. You know, crush that shit to a powder. You know,
Yeah.
that's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. You know. Uh oh, he said, have you ever heard of the dog pound putting a chip without your permission? Ooh, that's greasy. That's greasy. I think they got certain rules with these dogs. Like if you adopt them, they gotta put a chip. Or maybe if it stays there too long, like the pound got your dog and nobody claims it, and they planning on keeping it, maybe they might chip them. You know, I don't know, bro. I never heard that though. That's kind of crazy if you ask me. But they're getting more and more power. You know, animal control, everybody, you know, they're getting more and more power. So yeah, yeah, Big Saul, yeah, send that Addy so I can get you in there. Hopefully I can get you in there now. You send it now, I'll get you on this shipment.
Yes, sir. Get it in.
He said Crow,
Get it
best in
in.
show off the chain. Yeah, Crow's amazing. Crow's an amazing dog, man. That was an amazing litter. I tell you that litter was nice. Only two of them. I tell the story. You only two of them made it up off the yard. It was 9 of them. It was one more female and like fucking 6 more males that got taken. You know, and I had one, man. He was black. His name was Africano Buck. And I'm telling you that hey, he was nice. Crow was nice too. You know, I liked Crow too. But just the possibilities, and then there was so many males in that litter, you know, and just oh man. And his sister, Crow's sister, amazing dog. Amazing. So thinking about that, plus she's producing amazing. She's producing amazing dogs. And so you look at that, and it can only go to your imagination. Like, I wonder what the fuck all them other motherfuckers would have been like. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Straight
First thing
up,
you think
bro.
of.
If these two are good out of the litter, damn, I wonder what the other ones are. And that's just a dog man thing. You know, who knows? Maybe the other ones wasn't shit and they took the ones that wasn't shit. I doubt it. You know, but you never know. He said he got a great
Yes, sir.
question.
I got a phone call. Hit you back.
He said, he said, I got a great question. Can somebody make my wife get up and cook breakfast, damn it? Hey man, look, if you've been in a relationship for a long time, man, you just got to take it on the chin. Yeah, musician, man. I've been checking y'all out. I've been doing my research. I've been checking y'all out, man. And so far, I like it, man. Yeah, nah, that's some good shit. Hades, what up, brother? What up, y'all? Yeah, nah, that's fucked up. They just put a chip in the dog, bro. That's fucked up. And we don't do lawsuits, man. We need to, man. Figure that shit out, man. File that shit yourself, man. Straight up. Can it get the chip removed? They need to remove the chip. Oh yeah, yeah, okay. Yeah, hey, she was cool. She got it here quick, fast. Musician, that's a hell of a story. But the same thing happened when I got my dog. My first bitch that I ever got, it was from Red Eye. I think it was Cutter. He had got in trouble with the law. You know, they got him, you know what I'm saying? He had that Dudley dog, you know, good dogs. And I had got a bitch right off Dudley, and it was like, I think it was right before he got raided or the dog got raided, because I couldn't get my papers for like a whole year, you know. So he had to go, you know, pay his debt to society or whatever, you know, things were cooked up. You know, I talked to him since then, and they pretty much created the dragon lady, you know, made a dragon lady, you know, that's pretty much their line, you know. Damien, you know, all those dogs, breeding those dogs, Lady Doll and shit, you know, all of them dogs. You know, they were the ones breeding them dogs and had them dogs. So he reached out to me and was like, you know, he really appreciates me putting those dogs on the map, bro. You know what I'm saying? I put those dogs on the map, you know. They were good. They were never, the quality was never a question ever. But you know, that boy Buckcity put them dogs on the motherfucking map. You dig? So it's all a collective effort. Somebody grabs the torch from you and they carry it on, you know, and you hope to keep those same morals and values and hope, you know, people stay solid and stay true, you know. Um, you know, that's what's up, man. I'm honored to you know, that you got some of the shit that I put together. You know, I'm happy that some of the OGs in the game that people look up to and did a whole lot of pioneer work can actually see and get a little piece of you know, a little crumb. You know what I'm saying? Just a crumb. We used to say back in the day, just a little smidget. You know, I'm happy, man. Um, you know, my time in the dogs, you know, I'm doing activist work now, man. I'm trying to paint them in a positive light. You know, I'm trying to be an activist, you know, a support, a guy of support. People go through shit. You know, they tell me that they was going through problems and, you know, and we held it down, man, you know, because I'm not going to get up on here and sugarcoat nothing. Much as I try to do whatever, man, it's going to come out the way it's going to come out real, you know. He said, what about this crow dog, Buck? Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Where we at? Uh Let me see, brother. Oh yeah, no, I seen this. I seen this, man. I like this. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna hold you. I actually like this dog. I was actually surprised. I won't say their names on here, but a couple of our brothers got some crow shit. Like we got some crow shit in this community right here. We got a lot of that shit. A lot. I'm telling you, all the crow you need is right here in this community right here. It's crazy. Just a lot of people. It baffled me. Yeah, so this one right here, this is some good shit. Yeah, that Venom dog. That Venom dog, they bred it heavy on that Venom dog. I think I remember this dog, if I'm not mistaken. I think I remember this dog. Okay, yeah. So one of my dudes bought Venom. See, I'm all in this shit. So one of my dudes got this Miss Mayweather bitch from me, you know, the BCK Rampage, bred it back to Venom, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I don't a lot of times I don't keep up with the dogs or nothing. You know, I don't keep up with the dogs. You know, sometimes it just ain't in my interest, right? But this Rampage Jackson dog, this was actually that Mordecai dog. This was actually that Mordecai dog. He was bred really good. And then this War Story dog. So I did this breeding. This was a really good bitch. This was a really good bitch. You know, but yeah, nah, I know that Venom shit. I remember that Venom shit. That's that Thanos shit. This, I mean, not Venom, but the bottom stuff that they put on there. So that's double on that. And then this red jumbo dog, this Chrissy stuff, that was good blood, man. You know, I used to chop it up with Chrissy a lot. You know, that was a good dude, man. He has some good ass dogs. Period. So nah, this shit, I will fuck with this. I will fuck with this all day and twice on Sunday. Straight up. Gold Day, all this, the Thomas dog, you know, the Devereaux dog. That bitch. I think this is this might be a litter mate to one of them motherfuckers. Rolex or M or one of them motherfuckers. Let me see. Africano. It's a litter mate to Africano. That Africano dog's a good dog. That was a good dog. This is what the Crow come through. So Crow and those dogs. I just showed y'all the pet. You know, Crow, you know, them are some good ass dogs. He come down off of this Africano dog. And that sister that I had that bred back to so this is the sister. And we got her back to baby Osiris. Just to let you know. I mean, we're continuing the pressure. I wanted this one to constant pressure, that Jagger dog. I thought that would have been a good ass breeding. But we ended up going this direction. And basically Crow's littermate sister back to my son, baby Osiris. That's like my son. Some of these dogs, you know. Because when you breed dogs, you know, you just take a liking to, you know, certain dogs. And you start to put that shit together. So a lot of people, they'll get the dogs, but they don't know why, or you put together what your vision was. But you know, this imported bitch right here, she gave me a whole world of genetics, you know, that was totally different than a lot of the stuff that was around. You know, she was totally different. She brought something totally different to the table. And it blended totally different and just solid dogs. And so you gotta have that. And what's better to throw that in there with some more of this Africano stuff. You know, he's real tight. Demonville, Lucius, you know, all those dogs that's heavy on the Lucius dog. You know, a lot of those dogs that's back in the Croatina bitch. Great granddaughter of Lucius, granddaughter of Crow, Dindy, all of these dogs, direct daughter of Osiris. You know, we worked some of this other stuff, that Serena Williams shit. There's a lot of this shit around, that Secretariat dog, the Griselda Blanco dog, Black Bear the goat. You know, that was a good dog right here, you know, right off of Macho Bear. Grabbed him right before Macho Bear died. You know, you know, it's just good dogs all the way through. This Miss Ferguson shit, you know, I think this was the glue right here. This right here was the glue. She produced a lot of good dogs in her own right. Then the Michael Myers with the with the Croatina. You got to keep that right there. That crawl, that was one of the ones you did. You stand on that. You know, you wasn't scared to switch it up. You wasn't scared to add something new to it. So you were the first one to put any Michael Myers dog with a crow dog, period. And you see those crosses being made to this day, and they working out like a motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? But you were the first to ever put that together. So, and that's sometimes having faith in what you're doing. You feel me? You just gotta have a little bit of faith, man. A little bit of faith. A little bit of Faith Evans. You dig? BMG, what up? What up? You know, let me see. Yes, sir. Hey, we're gonna get in here, man. We're gonna get in here. Nah, I like that ped, if that's what you're talking about, Janae. I like that ped right there. It's got a lot of, good dogs. Chrissy, one thing about Chrissy, he wasn't gonna have no bullshit. He just got a different style. He's different. He's different, bro. I can't see that dude with nothing trash. Nothing. He said, I got a question or maybe an opinion. I think Tom cloned Chinaman already. Oh, man. I might have to roll up on that note. You got to be careful, man, when we talk about this clone and, because, this shit, these dog, this is a business, man. So I don't know if it's possible to clone Chinaman. I don't know if it's possible. I don't know. They're going to try it. They're going to try to clone the heart and soul. They're going to try it. People they want it. It's all for that. I told you, some dudes just want it for nostalgia. They're not getting it to take it to the woods and see, if they get a good wood dog. Because when you out there and you hunting and your dogs is getting the shit beat out of them, you looking for somebody that could, throw you some size, and be there to catch that hog, And so you breeding for that. You breeding for that. So most dudes ain't doing that though. Most dudes just want that dog. Maybe take them to one or two dog shows, even if they don't get a ribbon or not, just a good experience, eat a hot dog or two and talk some dogs with some fellow dog man and like some pictures and shit on Facebook the next day. That's all we trying to do. So in that regard, why not? Or some kennels, they gonna want to breed them. They gonna want a stud on their yard. If you're looking to get a good stud on your yard and he got a clone of Frisco or something, and you get a puppy off of that's that close up. He could be Dynamite 3 or, he could really be that on paper. He got just as much to the Frisco rights as anybody else off of Frisco because he right off of Frisco. Or he is Frisco. He is the clone of Frisco. You know, what would they name the clone? Would they name it Frisco? Would they name it something else? So it's a lot. It's a lot, man. Yeah. Get it in. Hey. Hey, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Buckcity Reloaded. Okay, yeah, Frisco. He's gonna get that done. You know, it's gonna get it done. It's gonna be interesting, you know, to see what the dog looks like. How's he come out? What color is he? What, you know, does he got any markings? He got white socks, you know, what, how's he look? Does he look just like Frisco? There's gonna be a lot of eyes watching this. I heard another big name dog. I don't know if I said it on here. I won't say it this time, but I heard another big name dog is about to get cloned as well. Oh yeah, no, that's a good idea. At least 5,000, 5, because he could just breed them over and over and over, so he won't need to. You know, like if it was a frozen semen, you know, you only got 6 dogs to sell, but you know, maybe the price will be lower because you know he could hit the gate first month, get 10 bitches pregnant. You know, the first month, you know. He could pull one of Grimace's moves. He could pull one of Grimace's moves and breed him at 9 months. He said he already got the $3,500 investment. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But you guys stay dangerous. You guys stay dangerous, man. Look, the show has concluded. Show has concluded. Let me get in here and see what's going on with the fam. See what's up with CC. All of that. Appreciate everybody. Appreciate all the donations. Prophet Swamper, the sponsor for the show. Appreciate you, my brother. All the donations. We getting it in, man. Shoot me them texts. I got a couple texts. I'll send y'all the info. Yes, sir. Get it in, man. Get it in. See y'all on the next one. Buckcity Reloaded. I'm out.